There are some things about my job that I absolutely hate. Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 274, and today I want to talk to you guys about one thing that I really just do not like about what I do for a living. But before I get into this video, do me a huge favor, click the like button, really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. So the reason I'm recording this video is because about a week and a half ago, I had a patient come into the clinic. This individual has been using hearing aids for the past 15 years. And throughout that entire time, she has not been getting that much benefit from her hearing aids. Now, she's gone to several different places to try to see if, going and getting a different type of hearing aid would help, if going to a different hearing care professional would help. Majority of the time that she's been going to a big box store, she ended up going back to that big box store to get her most recent pair of hearing aids that she's been using relatively successfully for the past 3 years or so. And then at a certain point, she was just like, I'm not getting a whole lot of benefit from these. Let me go back and see if something else can help. So she went back to the big box store. They tested out 3 other types of hearing aids. So 3 other brands of hearing aids on her because the hearing aid that she had been using is no longer offered. And so she literally has gone through about 18 months of testing out new devices, hoping that those devices would help her, and it ended up culminating with no additional performance benefit, and the professional that she was working with said that they can't help her. Her ears are basically too far gone to receive any benefit or any additional benefit from hearing aids. And so they basically just said, don't come back. And so this individual eventually, and it wasn't even through the YouTube channel, this individual ended up finding me because I gave a talk at a Hearing Loss Association of America chapter, I don't know, like 3 years ago. And so she had essentially kept my information throughout that entire time, and she finally just decided, you know what, I got some good information at this talk that this Dr. Cliff Olson guy gave, so I'm just going to go see him. So she comes in, and she actually brings her audiogram, her most recent audiogram from the place that she was at, and she was telling me that they're like, yeah, the hearing in my right ear has dropped off so substantially that they basically can't help that ear, and they've exhausted all of their hearing aid options to give me any additional benefit. And I look at this audiogram and I see that she has a, moderately severe flat hearing loss, meaning a hearing loss throughout the entire frequency range at a moderately severe level, meaning it's a significant hearing loss because of all the missing speech information due to that hearing loss, but had really good word recognition scores. I'm talking like 88% word recognition scores in her left and right ears respectively. And so when I look at an audiogram like that, I'm like, this definitely doesn't look like an untreatable hearing loss, and I definitely don't see any asymmetry between the 2 ears. And so I started asking some more questions about, how were your hearing aids set up? Did they use a rubber dome or rubber tip on your hearing aids? Did they use a custom ear mold on your hearing aids? I asked to see her current hearing aids, and sure enough, she's using an open dome on her hearing aids, which means that all of the amplification that they're trying to get her from the hearing aid is just leaking out of her ears and giving her no benefit. And she had been going on like this, for, according to her, for several years. And so I'm sitting there and I usually spend a good 30 to 45 minutes in the interview phase with my new patients when they come in, because I really want to get to the root of what the problem is, what areas they're looking to improve, what their history has been from a health perspective and from a hearing treatment perspective. And a lot of the stuff that she was telling me that she was told by her previous providers just wasn't adding up. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm looking at an audiogram in front of me that was done a month before she came into my clinic, and I'm like, that is a very treatable hearing loss at a very high level. Why is this person not reporting any performance benefit with their devices? Well, a big part of that, in my opinion, was the open domes. So what do? Well, I take her and test her, and I find out that the audiogram that she had done at the big box store was totally accurate. It was accurate. I'm like, okay, so this is an accurate test. They had this information at the most recent visits with her that she had, because again, she's now tried, including the hearing aids that she currently owns, 4 different pairs of hearing aids from this particular location. And getting the same response, which is not a good response for all of them. And so I end up, hooking her up to do a real ear verification. So we actually have this process. The appointment that she came in for was an applied 360 review appointment for us to kind of review her current treatment to find out, is it set up right? Is it not set up right? Can it be optimized further? Can it not be optimized further? And part of that is doing a verification measure on the amplification levels inside of her ear canals to identify, is she hitting her prescriptive targets or not? And what I found is that she is significantly misprogrammed with her hearing aids. And the biggest culprit of that is that she was not wearing custom ear molds on those devices. And when you're not wearing custom ear molds on a moderately severe, upwards to a severe or profound level hearing loss, you're not able to actually use that hearing aid and trap enough of that amplification inside of the person's ear canal to hit their prescription, which means that they're not going to get a better speech understanding back, right? And they're not going to get just better hearing in general back. And so here I am explaining these results to the individual, and she's like, oh my gosh, this looks like they've never done this to this level on me when I've gone in. This is what you could do to ensure that my next pair of hearing aids is programmed the right way. And I'm like, yes, and it's a process. You've had 15 years of more likely than not great treatment with your hearing aids. So it's going to take me some time to get your brain acclimated to the right amount of sound if you want to optimize your speech intelligibility, both in quiet environments and noisy environments, because she did possess the ability through testing, which indicated to me that she would perform really well in background noise too. So I end up explaining to her our whole process. So, we have our Applied 360 fit process where we make sure that we have the right hearing aids, the custom ear molds, go through the programming sequence that takes over the course of 45 days to make sure that we optimize every aspect of her hearing. And then we get her on our Applied 360 Thrive plan, which is a 1-year service plan after the end of her fitting sequence. Essentially, with particular hearing aids that are designed in a way to ideally treat the type and configuration of hearing loss that she has. And so I'm making this recommendation to her, and she's like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm finally going to be able to hear again. And then I discuss with her the cost of doing so. And, coming from a big box store, she's expecting the cost to be around $1,500, $1,600, no more than around $2,000. And the treatment inside of my clinic is easily 3 to 4 times that. Okay, now you could go with some of the more lower cost options with devices that are just entry-level devices, but essentially you're not allowing me to use all of my expertise to optimize your hearing to the best of my capabilities. So while we do offer that for people who have affordability issues, for us to optimally treat someone's hearing, it's going to cost, again, 3 to 4 times what it would cost for her. We also had the added expense of using custom ear molds or requiring custom ear molds, because if she didn't agree to custom ear molds, there's no way that I would move forward with treatment, because I'm just like, we're just spinning our wheels. You'd end up trying some new hearing aids. They wouldn't work, just like you're used to them not working for you. And then you're essentially just wasting time and money at that point. So I usually don't move forward with patients if they don't agree to do the treatment that I'm recommending to optimize their hearing. And so once I shared the pricing with her, she's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, okay, I mean, if you want to hear better, I can help you hear better. But in doing so, for me to follow comprehensive audiologic best practices and make sure that this is done the right way, this is what it's going to cost because of what it costs for me to do business. And she just essentially did not see the value in it. She was price anchored at this $2,000 or $1,500 price point from places that she's gone to get hearing aids. She did not understand the value of the professional care side of it. She thought that a hearing aid is a hearing aid is a hearing aid, and that all the care that you're given is just, as an assist those hearing aids in functioning. And even though she'd gone through 15 years of, in my opinion, not great treatment based off of the information I gleaned from her in that first 45 minutes, she did not see the value in what I had to offer her. And you know what? It is what it is. But you know what? That happens to be the worst part of what I do. I know that I can get every single person that I see to hear their absolute best, not because I'm some amazing audiologist, but because I follow comprehensive best practices. And so I measure and verify everything, and my whole team does this. And we provide additional support above and beyond that, where we have dedicated support personnel inside of the clinic to provide them with assistance. But in order to have a dedicated team with the only purpose of assisting every single patient that works with us inside of the clinic, that costs more money to do. And you know what? It just sucks because I know I could help this individual. I know that she'd be hearing her absolute best, and her ceiling of performance was very high, doing and treating her hearing loss at a very high level to get back everything that she wanted to hear, and she just couldn't get past the dollar mark. And you know what? I understand that it kind of makes me look bad because, Cliff, like, why do you got to charge so much above what some of your competitors do? And I'm like, listen, if I want to maintain the high standard of care, not just myself, but my entire clinic, there is a cost of doing business to provide high quality. And I had to make a decision years ago, and a lot of you know this, I had to make a decision years ago of whether or not I was going to go the low cost route and skimp on quality of care, or if I was going to go the higher cost route to maximize the quality of care that we're able to give inside of the clinic. But it doesn't change the fact that I feel like total crap when I have someone basically say, you know what, either I don't believe that you're worth what you're asking for, or I do believe that you're worth what you're asking for, I just can't afford it. And at the end of the day, I think that what I'm going to end up doing when I end up retiring is start some kind of a nonprofit where I basically just try to get donations to do free hearing treatment for anyone who comes in. But at the end of the day, I've got a lot longer to go with the inside of this profession where I have to charge what I have to charge to provide a high quality of care, and I'm just going to have to suck it up and do it. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is a really bad thing inside of my profession, that quality usually costs money? Do you think that audiologists like me are con artists that are just, overinflating costs of everything just to get more money out of the people that we work with? Or do you understand the concept of if you want quality, something you're gonna have to pay more? Let me know what you think about this whole situation down in the comment section and whether or not I'm overreacting.